Welcome back to the pastor's porch. It's been a number of weeks and I apologize for that, but I'm back out here again this morning in the brisk, cool weather, coffee in hand as always, with a couple of thoughts in mind. And I hope that as I share my thoughts and my life with you, we can all grow in our faith and connect just a little bit more with God. Years ago, someone said something to me which has stuck with me ever since. And he said these words. He said, people want to know that they make a difference. They want to know that what they do matters. And I've shared that same advice many times over with other pastors since, and I've had to remind myself of that even in my own ministry at St. Matthias and the diocese and beyond, and I've even had to reflect on it in my own personal life and relationships. I want to matter. You want to matter. We all want to matter and to make a difference in some way or another. Now, it doesn't have to be a grandiose thing, but just to know that whatever it is that you or I have done, small, medium, or large, that it has actually made a difference for someone or for some purpose. I mean, we were actually created by God in this way. He created us to serve. He created us to help one another. He created us to matter and to make a difference. I mean, Adam was called to serve God and to take dominion of his creation. Eve was created to be a companion, a complement, and a helper with Adam in that. The whole family structure is one of interrelating and helping the whole. God's people coming together is also the same way. Paul tells us that we all have different gifts and abilities, and we each use what God has given us to help serve and to uplift one another and the church. We were created to serve and to help one another, to matter, and to make a difference in the life and lives of those that are around us. And the truth is, it can be very painful to us. It can even hurt us or anger us. It can make us mad or depressed when we think that others haven't noticed or haven't expressed that what we did or that what we do actually seems to matter to them. I mean, think of how many marriages have been on rocky ground because one spouse feels underappreciated or underhelped by the other. Think of how many pastors have left their ministries because they felt as though people don't care and they think that they're on an island all alone to themselves. Think of how many children have detached from their family or started hanging out with a particular group at school because they feel overlooked or underloved perhaps at home. Now, I don't mean for this to sound selfish. It's not intended to sound like I'm saying that we should all go around saying, well, look at me, I matter, or that we go around trying to prove to others how much we matter. I'm also not saying that our feelings are always accurate. I mean, there's a lot of times that we misperceive what others think, or we project our own feelings onto them, and we're actually way off base. But regardless, there is a truth. And that truth is that we are moved and motivated by how we matter and the difference that we make. It encourages us. It drives us. And when we sense that what we are doing really matters, we pour all of our efforts into it. I mean, we'll go over the top. We'll take extra steps, even when we aren't asked to. But if not, then we don't. We say, what's the sense of it? Or why try? Or why waste my time? Why put myself out there? Why pour my energy into something, whatever it may be? And so we shut down and we start to do the bare minimum. We give just enough of ourselves to get by and to survive. And we start looking for fulfillment elsewhere and in a different way. Because the truth is that we are always going to try to find somewhere where we matter and we make a difference. I was thinking about that this past week. Not because I was feeling that way, although I admit I have had moments like that, but because of a conversation that I had with someone else. As I reflected on the things that we exchanged, I thought in those moments when we begin to shut down and we don't give 100% of ourselves, there's actually a danger in thinking that way. Because when we shut down, we actually move from passively not mattering to actively hurting. We hurt ourselves and we hurt others. First, there's a self-feeding and a self-perpetuating element to this. If we feel as though we don't matter and we start to operate in ways that express that feeling by doing the bare minimum or not taking actions like we do matter, then we actually come to that point of not mattering. We hurt ourselves in that way. And second, when we start not giving of ourselves like it matters, it means that we're no longer providing that which really does matter for someone else. And when we withhold or do not give ourselves for them in that way, then we're actually hurting them. We're still making a difference, you see, only it's for the worse and not for the better. And so we need to guard against coming to those points. Regardless of whether it is recognized by others, we have to approach what we do with everything we have, because it always matters, and it always does make a difference in one way or the other. Furthermore, God sees it. God knows. God knows how you devote yourselves to using your gifts and your abilities. Let me read what St. Paul said when he wrote to the Colossians. After talking about lifting each other up with psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, and after exhorting wives and husbands and children and parents and servants, he says in chapter 3 of Colossians, verses 23 and 24, the following, quote, "And whatever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ." Notice how Paul is general with that. In all things, do it as unto the Lord, not for the reward which is promised, which is wonderful, but because we serve the Lord Jesus. Whatever it is we do matters to the Lord, and whatever we do makes a difference to the Lord. Now you may think, well, the Lord is the Lord. I mean, how could we possibly make a difference to the one who is God and who reigns over all things? Well, it's because the Lord has chosen us to do his work in the world, to be as Christ in our various families, in our vocations, in our social circles. We are to serve and to share, and in so doing we bring glory to him and we make a difference. So friends, in whatever you do, whether it's the smallest chore in the home or the most menial task at work, or whether it's the grandest gesture in the boardroom or ministry in the church, do it all to the glory of God. Do it in a way that you know matters. Put your heart and your effort into it, and remember that it always does make a difference. It makes a difference for you. It makes a difference to the person next to you. And most importantly, it makes a difference for the Lord. So those are my thoughts from the porch this week, and I hope that it's been helpful to you, and that at least in some small way, you've been able to draw closer to God today. Until next time, God bless. And for those in the Katy area who watch this, I can't wait to see you on Sunday morning in worship.